Picture this. It's the late 1800s and you're a fur trapper. You're on your horse, you're setting out your trap line, and you come across a dead man, frozen to the ground, and in his hands is a hawk and muzzleloader. And that man was Hatchet Jack, and there was a note written that says, "Whatever man findeth this gun, I bequeath it to you, because the bear done got me." The Hawken helped to pioneer the West and could be one of the most famous guns of all time. We're here to shoot it today. Imagine your favorite gun in your gun collection. And all of those guns were inspired by the flintlock and caplock muzzleloaders of the 1600s to the 1800s. Every mountain man, every homestead aspired to have this gun right here to defend their homesteads, put meat on the table, to defend their country. And how complicated it was to find powder, to hand cast your round balls or your conical bullets, and the time that it took to reload, to pour the powder down the barrel, to push the bullet down, cock the hammer, prime it, fire, just to be able to repeat that process. So we're here today to replicate that same process of loading and shooting, and it all starts with pouring powder down the barrel. I wasn't going to win any races loading this gun. All right, let's see if I can hang with the mountain men. Ha ha! Dead center first shot. I done killed the bear. That's pretty good. Like I even impressed myself. Now back to reloading. There is your number 11 cap, what it looks like after it's fired. So that's your priming compound. So the hammer ignites this number 11 cap, the priming compound, and that flame goes through the nipple here, has to turn 90 degrees. So the flame comes in here and turns 90 degrees to your powder charge, your bullet's sitting right about there. So this is a capper. Could you imagine having to handle this cap just with your fingers? So I can just push that on the nipple, you pull sideways, make sure that's on there. So if you're just carrying this in the field, you wanted it cocked, you could carry it right like that. Or what most people do is at half cock, so that way it's not banging against the nipple, and of course the gun won't go off in half cock. So this is kind of your safety position in a cap lock. Then we go to fire, get in position, get ready. And now we cock the hammer, set trigger in the back, front trigger, fire. Well, let's go load it again. This puts a lot of fun back into hunting because there's a lot of little nuances to the sport of muzzleloading. Working up your powder charge. Right now I'm using 90 grains of double F black powder. Now you can use a black powder substitute just on a caplock or flintlock rifle. Real black powder has a better chance to ignite, lower temperature to ignite. But could you imagine the challenge and how much fun you would have doing all of this for a white-tailed deer? You limit your range. I mean, the gun's capable of shooting 100, 150 yards, no problem. The question is, can you shoot that well, especially with iron sights? A lot of guys have shot a lever action gun or maybe an old pump gun with iron sights. But a muzzleloader is a little bit different because you have this explosion right next to your face before the gun goes off. But sure put a lot of fun back in hunting, wouldn't it? All right, so question is, do you have what it takes to be a mountain man? Dead deer. So back in the 70s, Thompson Center had launched the Hawk and Muzzleloader. The Jeremiah Johnson movie came out. There weren't any special muzzleloading seasons, and really there weren't a lot of whitetail deer. So Thompson Center worked with Fish and Game agencies, and as the whitetail deer became more highly populated across the states, we were able to get special muzzleloading seasons put into place. And of course, things have gotten very high tech now, right? You've got specialized scopes and specialized bullets, and there's people, myself included, we're shooting 300 yards, 400 or 500 yards with a muzzleloader accurately, lethally. But you also see this with bow hunters, right? The sport's now gotten to be a long-range sport, but there's a lot of people who are transitioning to traditional bows. There's a lot of trad bow hunters now. They want it simple. I think there's an opportunity too, especially for the younger hunter out there. Why don't we look at going more primitive, trying to increase the challenge of what you do, decrease the yards you got to shoot, become more of a hunter, learn how to spot and stalk with a gun. How many guys do that now? Especially with a whitetail. They sit in a tree stand, they sit in a nice box blind, but do they know how to spot and stalk and shoot an offhand with iron sights? That's a lot of fun. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. The rules of accuracy in a muzzleloader are the same as bow hunting. It is about consistency. Now there's obviously some things with form and how you do things that aid to your consistency, but the more consistent you are measuring the powder, tapping it, the more consistent you are putting the powder down the barrel, and of course how you seat the projectile. All these things add up to accuracy. A lot of you people out there who are into bow hunting, accuracy in your anchor point, accuracy in your head placement, accuracy in your release, all of that adds up over time. And that skill set that you build makes you a better hunter. Last couple shots weren't my best. I think it's about time to clean the muzzleloader. So we'll take this shot, we'll go ahead and clean it, get the zero back dialed in. Let's see if we can't spin this target. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll take a little bit better aim here. There we go. We got it. All right, let's swab this barrel out, get it clean, take a couple more shots. So with muzzleloading, you definitely want to clean regularly. With black powder, especially, it's highly, highly corrosive, and the fouling builds up. And I'm going to show you here. You just work this down, short strokes like that. So you don't want to catch your patch in the bottom. Look at that. This is why you clean your muzzleloader. Look at how dirty that patch is. So that's the fouling, or basically unburnt powder that's left in your barrel. And it starts to collect inside the barrel. And what happens is, think of a pipe. It starts to constrict and constrict and constrict. It starts building the pressure, so your point of impact changes. If you really want to dial in the accuracy, you're swabbing between every shot. Look at that. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Now when you're hunting, you could take 1 or 2 shots, not clean. Some people run a spit patch, moisten the patch in their mouth, swab really quickly between their shots. Most of the times you don't have a fast follow-up shot, so you have an opportunity to get your gun all clean and ready. We'll knock the big fouling out of this. All right, so once you swab your barrel out, you run a dry patch. This is critical. So what we're gonna do, this is our capper. Pull this back there, drop it in, cup side down. If you do hunt with these percussion caps, make sure that you keep your capper in a dry area. Whether that's a possibles bag, whether it's a buttstock, A little fanny pack, somewhere where the moisture is not going to affect the priming compound. This priming compound, as you can see, it's exposed to the elements right there. So, barrel's clean, barrel's dried out. What you want to do now is just take your number 11 cap, put this on here. We're going to fire the cap. There's no powder, there's no bullet in here. Point it in a safe direction like that. So what that's doing is taking that priming compound, creating the explosion, and any moisture that's in this fire channel here up in the nipple, it just dried it out. Now I normally take 2 of them, caps are cheap. Make sure it's completely dry. There we go. See how loud a pop? And if you aim it towards the ground, you can actually see the dirt or dust or any of your grass start to move because the pressure from that actually comes out of the muzzle. So we're ready to load now. Let's see if we can't ring this spinner target one more time tonight. 90 grains of powder down the hatch. So around this lead projectile here is what they call bore butter or natural lube 1000. So this helps to lubricate the bullet going down. It helps to season the barrel just like you season a cast iron frying pan. And it helps to prevent rust and corrosion. So it does a lot of things all at the same time. So this is your ball starter here. So this helps start the projectile. Put that down, so this way you take your ramrod, the ball, the projectile is already started down the barrel, so projectile supported, push it down like that. See how much easier it is to push that down now that I've cleaned the barrel? Give it a little bit of tap. You see this? See how that bounces up just a little bit? That tells me the projectile seated on the powder. So a lot of people ask, what's this brass compartment here? So you can flip this open. This is where in the old days they had put their patches in here. So this is called a patch box. So they keep their patches here dry and organized, and they keep the ball right in their little possibles pouch. So you notice this is what they call a wedge pin. So you can push that pin out, and actually you can pull the pin, and it allows you now to remove the barrel from the stock. So this is called a hook breech right here. The easiest way to clean a cap lock rifle is to take the barrel off. You take a little container full of hot soapy water. You push this breech end into the water, and then you just take your ramrod with a patch and you're sucking the liquid up and down, and you're flushing out this whole area, because this breech area is completely sealed. There's no removable breech plug on a cap lock rifle. But that's how easy it is to clean a cap lock rifle. Put that hook breech back in, put it back in the stock, take your wedge pin, put it back in place, and you're ready to fire. Batting 500 right now, so let's end the day on a win. Dead center. Not bad for the gun that pioneered the West, the Hawk and muzzleloader.